activities. Let's join Kavita Ramchand from Mauritius.
And when I say your
And here we
emotions
go.
or
And
when
this,
I say your feelings, I'm talking about your energy in motion, which are your vibrations. So I might interchange words of emotions with vibrations and feelings with vibration. Okay, and I want you all to start to get used to this idea. And it's not something we don't know. Many times you will hear people say, "What's your vibe today?" Like nowadays, youngsters talk like that. Vibe. What do they mean by vibe? Vibrations or conscious awareness of how we are feeling. Okay. At any point of time, if I ask you what's your vibe today, I'm just asking you how are you feeling. That's what it means. Simple. And if I say frequency, then we want to understand that every thought, every feeling, every emotion, which is a vibration, has a frequency to it. Every vibration has a frequency. Okay, and you know that by like the radio FM in Mauritius, we have Best FM, Tal FM. So every FM is on a certain frequency because these are vibrations, sounds or vibrations. Now, when you go to science, you ask them what is energy, they will just tell you energy just is, and everything is energy. Is 100% present at all times. Now, when you go to theology, it's the side of spirituality, you ask them, you have God, they always tell you God just is. It is 100% present at everywhere. So, I want to study this information like a scientist, and today I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that energy. Okay? And my mentor used to say, I call it, I borrow that. Why? Because it is not just any energy, it is a very omniscient and omnipresent energy. You, me, we are all being energy. Your body, under a microscope right now, you will see the cells in a state of motion. There's a whole universe going on inside of us, and we are not even aware of it. We don't even think that we are powerful. Human beings are the ground. Okay, so let us understand that if I were to talk about me, you are to talk about you. Each and every one of us here, a human being, we would describe ourselves like this. I live and I have been blessed with a marvelous. Now, your mind divided into many parts, but broadly classified is divided into your intellectual mind and your emotional mind. When I say that, I mean that. Think of it as the thinking mind is here and emotional mind is your heart. All right? Thinking mind is where we ask questions, analytical, very analytical. Whereas your emotional mind is the part of you that doesn't really think, it just feels. Okay. Now, how does this work? You want to understand that as a spiritual being, as a human being, you have the power of thinking. That's the highest function we are capable of. We can think. And our thoughts, they lead, a collection of thoughts becomes an idea. I got an idea to do something. We say these things, but we don't go and look at the science behind it. It's like we've been thinking about how to do something and suddenly we get an idea, and that's a collection of thoughts. Okay? We are actually living in a thought world. We're surrounded by thoughts. Now, ideas, when you're thinking about that idea and you're giving it the thought, you're giving it focus, you start to feel it in your heart that I really want to do this. I really want that. And your feelings, they turn into emotions. If you hold on to them for a long period of time, they will start to turn into emotions. Now you're feeling it deeper in your heart, like you really, really want it. And your emotions will eventually turn into your beliefs. Once an emotion has turned into a belief, it will send out a strong vibration into the universe, because beliefs are very, very powerful, and all our actions are based on our beliefs. You will not take action if you don't believe in something. You will only take action when you believe that this is true. Okay? And action leads to things, like when you take action, you create something or you give birth to something in your results. And that is what we call your results.
किचन में सालन
So
रोटी पड़ी
your
लेकर
thoughts
डाल के लेकर
turn into your results.
हैं
That's how every human being is
क्या कर रही
actually
है
manifesting whatever he is manifesting in his life. All right?
नहीं अभी खाना खाओ
So this
मैगी कल दिन के लिए
actually
ना अभी
is
खाना
a
लेकर आओ
law,
खराब हो
and
जाएगा
it
जाओ
explains
ताहा
prayer.
मैं वो
Because
लेकर
when
आऊँ
you are praying for something,
ताहा
you are
चिकन कौरमा
thinking
पड़ा हुआ जो
about
लेकर
it,
आओ
and then you will manifest
जरा
it.
तुम
And
डाल
a
के
lot
ला
of
के
times
रखो इधर
people say,
मैं
"Oh, I
खाऊंगा
got lucky. I thought
सब
about
खाएंगे
that, and it manifested." That's how I used to be, and I used to think God is my best friend. He hears everything I'm saying and stuff like that. But I didn't know that there was a science behind it, and that is the law of actually perpetual transmutation of energy, which explains prayer. Okay? And this is how it works. This is a quote by my mentor who says, thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hands. Means if you've seen it in your mind, it will appear in your physical reality. form, you're from this and this family, you're a boy. Every child can. But our programming is already set. Our belief system has already been formed. And I had this belief system: money doesn't make people happy. Can you all tell me if you all have had belief systems around money that came from your environment? There are lots. Anybody can share some here? You can put it in the chat. Since we are focusing on money in this, because there are 6 riches of life, I told you, but for the sake of this challenge, I am only talking mostly about money. And came a point where I was really stuck because I wanted that next level. And what was keeping me stuck was this: money doesn't make me happy. Because when I was a kid, because I'm from a family of entrepreneurs, I always used to see people who were in business around me. There was always stress around sales, money. There was always a stress thing. So in my mind as a child, I already told myself, stay away from money. It causes stress. It doesn't make people happy. How many of you have paradigms like that that you can think of off your head right now? Since when did money have the power to make us happy or unhappy? Does it have that power? There are so many other paradigms have gone. Money is the root cause of all evil. Money makes people arrogant. Money this, money that. And that is just keeping people stuck unnecessarily. It's just a belief. And it's not even our own. And this is what Andrew Carnegie said, the entrepreneur, the richest man in America. Now, he's the richest man in America, the first richest man recorded in history in America. But I think that he was not really the richest. Even in India, we had the Mughal Empire. We were rich. We had so much of gold at one time, but it was not recorded. And Andrew Carnegie said, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or will begin at once to plot itself in the most convenient form and come into your life. And I would add, just make it clear, because until it's in the conscious mind, you can reject that idea. You don't have to internalize it. But the moment you start emotionalizing with an idea, bow. And I will tell you one thing. From all the communities that I have seen, Indians are very, very emotional people. You know, my husband is always telling me, you're such people call it ego. You can call it whatever you want. It's like basically I call it your current identity, and we cannot fight this. We cannot fight it. It's too strong. So what we want to do is we want to build a new model and focus on a new model, and the old model is just going to die for lack of focus. I want you all to write this word in your book, focus, because today we can see a lot of people inundated with things coming from outside. We're scrolling the whole day. We are not focused. And to bring your focus in place, you need that big goal. You need so focused on that goal. You need to want it so badly that you will do anything it takes to achieve it. And this is where I come as a coach also, because as far as I am, a lot of people did their own. I did not have to do it on my own. I had to take the help of my mentor. This is on autopilot. Our behavior is on autopilot. We don't deviate from our self-image. Even if we deviate, that's how people go on a diet and they bounce right back. People stop smoking, they bounce right back. Why? Because you haven't removed it from the source, from the paradigm, which is in the subconscious mind. So changing actions is not the key. We need to change vibrations first to change automatically. And there is good news. You can break free from your paradigms that are keeping you stuck. We can break free from them. And this is what the quantum physics has discovered recently. This is what quantum physicists have discovered recently. Science has discovered that this can be done. It's not easy, but it can be done. That's the good news. I've done it. So if I've done it, everybody can do it. So there is magic in your mind, actually. You are the magician. Now let's see how the law of attraction works. This is how the mind works for everyone. This is how we attract anything in our life. Okay? You have all these higher faculties, which you know. You know you have them. Okay? Now, let's say a person is earning X amount in his workplace. X. This is let this bag represent your income. And this person, from his thinking mind, now he's thinking, oh, we can attract more. And he started to think that I can attract 3 times my income. Triple. It's just an idea right now. It's not real. It's an idea in his mind. But most people are not thinking that they can triple their income. Why? We don't have paradigms that tell us you can triple your income. No. You know, even people who win lotteries, if they haven't changed their money paradigms, and if they have money paradigms that are not in harmony with the laws, they'll find a way to get that money out of their system. They will lose the lottery. You must have heard so many cases somebody won lottery and lost it all. Why? Because his paradigms had beliefs that were not in harmony with money. Let's not go far. I'm talking about me. When I first heard about writing an income, how much I want to earn, I felt like puking. How can you talk about money? Why should you? They said, why not? Why did you join the program if you don't? I said, I want freedom. I don't want money. But you want time and money, freedom. You need to have money for that. But so growth, if you want growth, then money will follow. But you have to be able to understand that you can have any amount you want. The problem is not there. The problem is what is holding you back. And none of us are looking there. And we are not supposed to even look there, because whatever you focus on, you will expand that in your life. You want to just focus on the goal, and you will free yourself from these limiting beliefs. As simple as it sounds, it's not easy. We will see why it's It's not easy tomorrow. Today, I'm going to just help you understand how your mind works and what's keeping you stuck. So this is how you ask. You say thank you in advance that you're earning 3 times your income, because that's what you want. What you want should always make you feel happy. If it's not making you feel happy, then you have to start to work on your reasoning and ask yourself, why is it not making me happy? Where did I get those ideas that money is the root cause of all evil, or whatever you have believed in your childhood? Think of what you want. Now, there are lots of people who are at rock bottom sometimes. Rather than thinking earning 3 times, they're thinking, how can I come out of debt? Wrong thinking. If you think of debt, you're focusing on debt. Every single word has a frequency. You want to make sure that the words you use are in harmony with the laws. They are positive. They make you feel good. They raise your frequency. And not one day. You want to read that goal every single day to yourself until you yourself can believe it. This is why it is a bit hard. I'm going to explain. Your emotional mind, it has already been set. And those beliefs that are over there, whether good or bad, the subconscious mind doesn't know, it doesn't care. It will keep it as it is. It will protect it. Its function is to protect your identity. So it will keep those ideas very strongly rooted there. They are like roots. Fruits are in your reality. The roots are there. Okay? Now, you have to start to imagine yourself living as that person who is already earning 3 times your income. You have already achieved that goal. How would you walk? How would you talk? How would you dress? How would you behave? You have to act like that now. Every morning you have to practice that in your mind that you're already there. It's not comfortable to do that because there will be nothing in your results to show you that this can happen. But you have to go by faith, not by sight. Okay? And when you believe it yourself, that's the time you send out a very strong power into the universe. When you believe, that's when the universe starts to work on your behalf. Until you are wishing, you're hoping, the universe doesn't do anything. It will let you wish and hope. It will test your faith. Can you believe even without seeing first? Once you believe, your body's vibrations are going to shift. You're going to feel as if it's already done. And you will attract everything from the universe by the law of vibration, because you are in such a high vibration. Call that vibration falling in love with someone. You know how you are in another state? Like you cannot hear anybody talking. You're totally in love, madly in love with someone or anyone. You're in that state. So when you're in that state, your vibrations are going to attract everything you need to manifest this into your reality. It will dictate your actions also. And by the law of attraction, you will attract everything. You will, the law of attraction will only work when you take actions, right? I mean, you will feel in a very different state of mind, very happy, very in love, like, that's how a child is born, yin, yang, husband, wife merge, and a baby is born. It's like that. The thoughts, the feelings have to become one, and it will manifest into your reality, because your actions will then be governed by that new state of mind, and that will change your results, and you will see it manifest into your physical reality. How it's going to happen will never be your lookout. That's the work of the great power. Your work is to just ask for what you want, and that's when you receive. So ask, believe, receive. And that's there in every prayer, I think, in the Bible maybe. So you want to understand now that why a lot of people say that the law of attraction. It's because no matter how much they're trying. Okay, before I tell you that, let's understand that there is your subconscious mind, the good paradigms also, and that's the angel side of you. Those paradigms of positivity. We don't have only negative paradigms, we have positive paradigms too. And those are the paradigms that will help you manifest what you want, will help you accept the idea that you are willing to manifest. But at the same time, if you do not see the results manifesting, no matter how much you're trying, it's because that devil is also inside you. And that's your negative paradigms. All of us have both. Some have them in greater quantity, less. It all depends on your upbringing. It all depends on your upbringing, and mostly it depends on the state of mind of your mother when you were in her womb. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a truth that we cannot deny, but we want to understand that we just need to get that angel side of us to become so big that the devil will just disappear. We'll push it out of our system. It's a never-ending process. You're always going to keep growing in life, and every level of growth will bring you a new devil, or, like I said, a new angel. Because there will be an angel also who will come to help you. And this will come in the form of other people in your life. The ones who are hurting you the most, they've come to give you the best lessons of life. And it's not easy to accept that. I was like so appalled by that idea. But I've come to understand it's the truth. And if you come to think about it, if we go to the stories of the heroes in the Bible or in the scriptures, like if I take the Ramayana, for example, the Lord Ram would not become a hero today if there was no opponent Ravan. So you have to really take life as a game. There will be the opponents and the, how do you say that? Like take a football game. There will be teams. The team of the good and the team of the opposing team. It's not that the opposing team they're bad, no. But to come and give you that challenge so you can win or you can lose. Everybody should watch the movie Sitare Zameen Par. If you are an Indian, or if you like Indian movies, please watch that movie. You will understand exactly what I'm saying. Anybody has watched it? It's just come out on June. Who said yes? I cannot
Yes,
say
I
that.
was.
Indra,
Did you see at the end how the actor felt that these kids were the ones who were his teacher at the end of the day? Because they're so full of love. Children are full of love. There was a time when children would fight and they will get back in friends in a jiffy like that. How rocket science are we that we cannot get along with each other? We being much more mature adults, shouldn't we be like as wise as children? A question for all of you. When expenses start to go up, and everybody talks about that nowadays, expenses are going high, what should we do?
cut down the expenses.
Increase the earnings.
No, I think
Which
we
sounds
must
better. Cut
we
down
must
expenses?
we should make more money. If there is a lot of expenses are coming in, you go to make more money. You go to think exponentially, abundantly, and you have to give your thinking a moonshot, and you have to got to get into the higher energy orbit, and that's what I mean. What you're teaching today is the name of the game. So just beef up your positive thinking or your scarcity thinking. That will get you abundant thinking.
Exactly.
So that's the solution.
Exactly.
We have not to focus negativity. That you don't have to cut. You can never cut down the if you have to eat something or you got to go to the hospital, how can you cut down those expenses? If you're living
Exactly.
in a rented property, how can you cut down the expenses? If you're traveling I mean, there is a limit to cutting down the expenses. Okay, if there is some luxury, you can cut. But I mean, how if everybody is almost running on one's, it's like break even points. So is the solution is the this lecture of today, that we've got to think abundantly, exponentially, very positively, and we have to give our thinking a moonshot, despite the fact that apparently our heart does not and mind does not believe what we say. I mean, if I think, okay, I've got to earn four crore rupees a month, 4 crore rupees a month. I mean, my own self gonna say, I mean, are you crazy? Come on, I mean, who's making so? But I mean, if I keep saying that, I mean, I have seen this mind is one of the foolish creature on earth. I mean, we take it otherwise. Whatever we feed it, we get it processed accordingly. I mean, look, there are two persons, and one person has seen back and he saw the loin is coming from behind, and other person did not see the loin is coming behind, but he has got the similar thinking. Both minds are equally scarce. Both minds are whereas the one person who has not seen behind, there's no loin. But you know, the chemicals are secreting equally. If the impact is equal, the same way go otherwise. If somebody is thinking abundantly, there are two persons. One he has not he one does not believe on abundance, another does. So the one who is believer will be one day. I mean, look at the Elon Musk. What he did, nothing, nobody did in the history, but he did it. One has to go
his
exponential.
mind,
Yeah,
yes, his mind works exactly like everyone's mind, exactly like that. So that subconscious mind of ours is very, very powerful. It's the part of us that is connected to our higher spiritual side. And we want to understand that, like how you rightly said, if your expenses are going up, you want to increase your income because you can. You can. The only thing that is stopping you are those paradigms that you don't even need to pay attention to. They will come and talk to you, they will come and scare you, they will come and hold you back. You just need to say, I'm focusing on what I want. Where focus goes, where attention goes, focus goes, energy goes, and that will expand. It's not as easy, but it is possible. We say, I am possible, right? And this is a quotation by Robert Kiyosaki. If everyone wants, he has a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, where he says in that it's more important to grow your income than cut your expenses. And who likes to cut their expenses? No one. It's more important to grow your spirit than cut your dreams. You want to understand that there's a higher power that is at work here and it knows how to manifest your dreams for you. You just have to trust it and have faith in that higher power. Tomorrow we are going to talk about faith. So how do you become magnetic to money? You think about money. You don't think of lack of money. You think that there is abundance and I am a money magnet. Anybody stops us from saying that to ourselves? I'm not telling you to talk it out loud because people will make fun of you. You know, people are ready to criticize. The people who criticize, actually, they are not criticizing. They are a projection of that little devil in us only that is being reflected outside. Everything in your outer reality is a projection of what's programmed in the subconscious mind. Upgrade that subconscious mind, reprogram it with new beliefs, and watch your results change. It's almost like magic. This science was not taught to us when we were kids or in school. It's just new, this science. So we can reprogram our subconscious mind with money beliefs that are in harmony with the laws of the universe, God's laws. Call it what you want. For me, it's God. You can call it what you want because anybody here doubts that God will provide what they want. I've never had that doubt. I've always felt I'm going to be well provided for. That was my belief. That was my positive belief. I had the other belief that money doesn't make people happy, which came from my environment also. But I had an inherent belief came from my mom that you will always be provided for. And that's like, maybe you can say, fortunate for a lot of women because There was a generation of women who didn't have to work and they were well provided for. So we all grew up like that, the girls especially. The men have had it harder because they've been conditioned that you're the breadwinners. So the pressure is more on them. So here I'm going to tell you one thing. The sky is not the limit to how much you can earn. The mind is the limit because we cannot outperform that boundary. We will keep hitting it. They are invisible boundaries. We cannot see them. But if we start to introspect and go within, we don't need to go within actually. We need to focus on the goal. They will start to come up by themselves because you're not giving them any focus. Your paradigm is just what you have believed that you can achieve. Change the belief, you change your results. We cannot outperform our paradigms. There are good paradigms, be thankful for them. If a person is punctual, that's a great paradigm. I have, in my shop, I have a staff coming from 1 hour away and one that comes from 5 minutes away. The one who comes from 1 hour away, she reaches before time. And the one who stays 5 minutes away always comes late. It's not that, it's the root is the paradigm. One is conditioned to be punctual, one is conditioned to be late. Can they change? Definitely. The person who's always late can change their paradigm by saying, I'm punctual. That's what he wants. That's what he should think. And when he says, I'm punctual, probably the second day he'll be more late.
Yeah.
Why? Because the paradigm will try to stop them. But if they persevere, they can make it happen. So you can upgrade, we can all upgrade our paradigms. We don't need to, you know why it's important? Because if we don't, we are going to pass it down to our children. So you have homework to do now. You want to answer these questions for yourself, to yourself on your paper. Are you comfortable talking about money? Spending it. Charging your rates for your services and products that you provide. Are you comfortable? I was very uncomfortable with money. When we first launched our shop, customers were coming, and the problem was I had gone so much into spirituality that I had come to reject the material world. So when clients were coming into my shop, I was thinking in my mind, what do you want? You should be happy and contented with what you have. That's what my mother used to tell us when we were growing up. We should be happy and contented with what we have. And I was thinking like that for my customers also. And then my husband told me, keep quiet because we are running a business here. And if you keep thinking like that, then the customers won't buy anything. So it was my thinking that needed to be changed, to be upgraded. Write down 3 money beliefs that you can program into your subconscious mind to override your money paradigms. And you can look it up on Google or you can come up with your own, but how would you want to think about money? The idea that money doesn't make people happy, it's not true. Money is only meant for 2 things. Number 1, to make our life comfortable. And number 2, if we have a surplus of it, we can create things to help other people. I don't believe in giving charity, but I believe in supporting maybe institutions that are doing something good for others. And it's a very, very fine dividing line, you know. A lot of people are still conditioned with the idea that money is not good, taboo. We don't talk about it. We don't discuss these things. And that's what our children are watching us, and that's what they're going to take forward. Okay, so be happy that we can break free. Tomorrow we are going to look at the 4 steps to break free from paradigms that keep us stuck. And now, Q&A time. Any questions? Anyone?
Oh, well, I've got a suggestion if you allow me to.
Yes, please do.
Okay, the key to success towards today's lecture about money is that we talk about more we talk about this, we create the reality through words. The words becomes the reality. So for that matter, we or the maybe like-minded people who like to follow what you've said today. So for that matter, I have tried podcasting is one of the very solid, meaningful, and result-oriented discussion that has a huge impact. So I would really request everybody to connect to each other, talk to each other, and talk about whatever we've learned. Talk about money and all these, because when we talk about something, that becomes eventually the norm. When it becomes the norm, then that's the reality that we create. So for that matter, I would really I'll urge you to please let's share each other's social media handles. If so somebody if you allow me, I can put my social media here. If anybody is interested, can talk to me. We can have podcast, or we can launch the series of podcasts, because the more we talk, more we get the reality. So that's how I have, because I work on abundance. I have got global abundance organization, that's GAO. I have got a channel with the same name, the YouTube with the same name. It's what you call this, Facebook with us, all everything with global abundance, or GAO. So I have I never, if you talk 3 months earlier, I did not know this word. Today, I have got more than 550 people in contact with me, with those who love abundance. And I found 100 pages on LinkedIn, and I could only reach 3 or 4 pages, and I've got 600 people in my LinkedIn. So more I just talk about this, more I research about this, more I study about this, I am getting convinced that this is possible. Yes, this is going to happen, and one day this is going to happen. I believe. I am more I am getting into this, stronger my belief is. The day I really believe this, I'm gonna make this. So
Honest with ourselves, most fights happen, most disputes happen because of money issues between families, between countries, between all these things. It's not, and what we are not realizing is the effect it's having on children, because children are watching all of that. They are one generation ahead of us. What are we teaching them? We are the role models. We are the leaders. So if everybody starts to talk about abundance, share it with others, talk about it, can connect with each other. This is a free world, right? We can create some, like you are already doing podcast, right, Mr. Zafar? Yeah, here. Everybody can share their contact.
yeah, I love this. This I found this podcasting is easiest and cheap. I would say without money even. I've been talking to you in the person of your stature. Otherwise, it is impossible to go see physically somebody in US, UK, or Mauritius, or while sitting in Pakistan or India, or like especially the kind we people from the third world. We have access right into the. I've got a mentor through this podcasting. She is there in Silicon Valley, and she's given me 1.5 years free course just because looking at my features, looking at my media channels and social media handles and everything. She's very expensive, but she's getting me this for free. I mean, and on the trial basis for sure for 3 months. She's getting me grant for 3 months and 3 months and 3 months. If I fail, I don't go to the next level. Looking at my motivation currently, she allowed me to do that. I mean, she took me 3 hours interview, and then she allowed me to get into her the mentoring club. So I mean, this is amazing. I would say, do not hesitate. Talk to each other. I how candid I have been with you, Kavita. I mean, I've been discussing things I won't discuss even to someone who's very close to me. But the day I started speaking truth to myself, that was the day. I mean, it's been around 3 to 4 months now. That I am improving every day. I mean, I was a person, my all social media, I did not have anyone. And if at all I had only Facebook, it was only my Facebook profile was locked. I mean, it was again Rihan Lawala, and he got me. He said, "No, do see people," and now I see even I see that everybody loves abundance. I mean, I've been talking to nobody is for wars. Everybody's for peace. I mean, who does? I mean, who would want that once tax paid, hard-earned money would go for killing somebody else's kids? Nobody wants war. This abundance is for against wars too, in for the peace. This is collaboration, cooperation, coordination. I mean, let's do it. I would say, if anybody wants to podcast me, I have just got you all links there, and anybody can reach me anytime. So whatever I have, I'll be just presenting as Kavita. You yourself are doing so. Back to you.
Anybody else who wants to post their social media or their contact details, you can do it in the chat, and like a link like that, you can just click on. Any other questions? Was it clear? Was it clear what paradigms are and how they are formed? Anyone? Or not so clear still?
So basically, the paradigms from the whole data, like the whole pattern. So the image we want to have is like we have been trained to make a decisions or think based on whatever the whole thing we have gathered. So whenever we want to think and act, so we see it from the past experience, whatever thing we have, based on that we're taking this. So that is the actual limitation which we have been trained to, whatever you say imagine, like when you say want to imagine, so whatever you want to imagine, so based on the data we have. So when we keep that data aside and really concentrate on the things what we really want, so that will help me, that will give the clarity and that child life experience where the child doesn't have the past memory. It just looks what it wants, and it doesn't care what it doesn't care about the outside world, what other things. It's just like kid says, like when 5 years old,
Yeah,
because
because
whenever it wants, it says like, "Mom, I want it."
Exactly.
It doesn't care whether
Yeah.
you are. It
And
doesn't
the
care.
provider-
It doesn't care
provider is
current
the universe.
success.
Hmm.
So that's how the same mindset, the same, the thought process, uninfluenced by the old data. So that has to be, you can say it has to come from without inhibitions from the past, and we should build, and we should be focused on like without. We just need to get we say jiddi. We should be focused on that we want it, and we should be able to believe that we should be able to be. We should not get deviated because of the old patterns.
Yeah. You have any questions? Is there a question?
I've got another. If you allow me, because I've been waiting. Somebody else speaks. If nobody is speaking, then I can take the chance. If you allow me.
We have about
And
4
this
minutes.
has.
If you have questions, please ask questions. I'm open for Q&A right now.
The actual game name of the game is creation of the reality, and that's again abundance. So I mean, what I have learned so far is like listening and self-talk, talking to yourself, or like talking to your friends, or like get the company of like thinkers. And what else one should do other than this?
I say one habit that everyone should develop is the habit of studying. Studying means studying self-development, self-growth books. We should study books that help us to keep this mind focused on the future, focused on creating our results, new results in our life. You know, not just fictions and stuff like that, but read. I mean, today I can tell you that everything in your physical reality is a teacher. Nature is your greatest teacher. How much time do we take out and spend in nature every day? How much time do we sit in meditation in silence with ourselves? Because all the answers come from within us. And we've been guided up to now. We have been guided by the universe. We will still be guided by the universe. But we have a choice to say, I want better. You know, personal growth is a choice, because to grow, you need to be uncomfortable. If you're not in, like I tell people nowadays, make friends with fear. Because fear is what will either keep you stuck or will push you to rise. And once you make friends with being uncomfortable, with fear, you will start to be unstoppable, because nothing will stop you anymore. Fear is fake, it's false evidence appearing real. Tomorrow we are going to see that. And we need to develop our faith based on understanding, not blind faith in the universe. We need to understand it's an exact science. And that's why studying is very important. I know a lot of people don't like studying. I didn't like to study. My God, after the age of 40, I never thought I would have to pick up a book again and read. But I cannot tell you that I cannot stop studying now, because there's no end to how much you can learn about yourself. You are an eternal being, and you can live in freedom.
One of the limitations that happens with the self-study books is like most of the authors, they put their life experience. It need not to be the life experiences as it is. It's their own experience, like
Everyone has a story. Actually, every author is only sharing his experience to help others, right? Because his experience could help someone.
Yeah, that's the thing. But when we try to observe our own, like we try to study from example, but when we try to study our own body and the things which is like which has the inheritance, which has the generational data, which is not visible and not explored, so that gives the more exploration, more dimension to explore the minds. That's what I mean to say. Like say some food which is like stale food, which doesn't need to be eaten, but if you try to force it by your body, and your nose says that okay, it should not be eaten inside, but so that's the something. Even if you try to force this body, respond to that vibes, whatever the food that need not to put. It is not written everywhere, but your body responds, and when you pay attention to that inner Thanks.
I'm not really understanding what you're trying to say to me here. All I can say is that it's a very simple. My mentor used to say, when you are talking to someone, you have to think like it's like you're talking to 10-year-olds. What you're teaching has to be so simple that even a 10-year-old can understand. Like, try to project your ideas in such a way that everyone can understand it so simply. It should be like that.
So there is something called thinking and the paying attention, like observation. So thinking is something like whatever you cannot think beyond whatever the information you have gathered. So that's the limitation is of thinking. So
No,
you cannot.
I'll tell you something. There's infinite intelligence inside every one of us. We are connected to infinite intelligence. Tomorrow I'm going to teach you a law called the law of supply. There's infinite abundance and there's infinite intelligence, or an intelligence
that's beyond thinking. That's what I mean. That is beyond.
Yeah. So we want to understand that there's no limit to how much we can think. I said the sky is the limit to what you can achieve, right? But it's only the mind that is keeping us stuck where we are.
Yes.
So we are going to see that tomorrow. So I will end the call now and keep your question. There was somebody who asked a question in the chat last minute yesterday. I'd like to answer that because I didn't see it yesterday in the chat. He said, are we supposed to have a mission? I think it's Mr. Fowler. You asked this question. See, not everyone is here probably for... I will put it like this. We are all born here to follow our dreams, okay? To follow our dreams. And most people have not learned that because we are following the dreams that our parents set for us. We are following dreams that others made us believe that you can do this, you can do that. What about our own dreams? If you're not trading your time every day, you're not working at something you love to do, what's the point of that kind of life? I know people in Mauritius, for example. I know someone who wanted to work in agriculture, because in Mauritius, a lot of the immigrants that came, they all came from Bihar, a lot of them, and they were into agriculture. So skipping a generation, the grandchild loved working in the fields and earth and all that, and wanted to create something with that. But he was stuck in a 9-to-5 job as an accountant. He was not happy because his dream was to work in the fields, but he was working at an office desk every day. So this is what I am saying here. When we say you have to be on a mission, it's not that you have to be on a mission. It's, are you doing work you love? Are you enjoying your life? Because life is supposed to be an adventure. It's not supposed to be waiting for retirement and then you'll enjoy your life. Are you doing work you enjoy every day? Like you're jazzed to go to work? Because I know in Mauritius, every Friday, everybody is happy because it's the weekend.
Basically, I can put it in a simple words like mission. Instead of mission, I can say we need to know why are
we doing what we are doing?
Yes.
Every day we are going to work, right? Why are we working at that place if we are not happy working?
Clarity on why we need to do it.
Yeah. Are we going to give our best to something we don't enjoy doing? Because there's a law that governs that also, the law of compensation. What you're doing, are you giving your best at what you're doing? And will you give your best at something if you're not happy doing that? These are small questions, but they have big implications on our mindset. So I'm going to end here now because we've gone a little overboard. Keep your questions ready, everyone, and tomorrow I can answer them also. So take care and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Okay, this was Kavita Ramchand from Mauritius, and she was talking about the money and how to attract and manifest money, and how you can train your subconscious mind for the abundance of it. And if you talk about this, you can create, and and the more you talk about this, then this becomes norm, and then these things may become the reality. Thank you so much for everybody for patience, and it was 1.5 hours long session.